What the fuck?
Enjoy a little bit about sex today, you see.
Yo, 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 yo. Oh, yeah. What's up? Hello, hello. Oh, we got the latest on the Epstein files. If you've been looking into this shit, it's pretty insane what's in this shit. We just touched the fucking surface. The surface of the Epstein files, like... Got that going on tonight. I haven't been on since the Super Bowl, so I wanted to talk about what I thought about the Super Bowl. I seen both of them, both shows, the Great American Halftime Show and the Super Bowl show, and I wanted to talk about that. Ghislaine Maxwell did exactly what we all speculated she was going to do the other night on the stream. We said they called her to stand in front of Congress, and she basically pleaded the fifth on every single fucking thing that they asked her, which was very frustrating. But yeah, we got all that and more, and you know what I mean by more. All tonight, if you're interested. If you're not interested, then fuck you. On a Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. Yeah, so what's up, everybody? I haven't been on since Saturday, the old Saturday Night Live show that we do. We're going to touch on it all tonight. I was looking through this right here, X, and all this shit with Ghislaine, and I mean, the shit, it runs so fucking deep. And yeah, I'm having like a lot of mixed feelings on a lot of shit I'm hearing. I really am. I mean, I'm sure everybody is. It's just, the shit I'm hearing is just insane. It really, truly is. It's scary shit. When you really think about like where we are in this world, like I'll put it to you this way. When I used to sit there and I used to watch guys like Alex Jones sit there and speak and tell everybody, you know, they're eating babies and they're you know, and he's saying all this shit and he's going off the fucking deep end. And you guys, anybody that's listened to me on this program knows that I always say about Alex Jones, like, yo, you could only take Alex Jones in so many doses, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, but I was wrong, man, and I've been wrong about a lot of things, and, you know, Alex Jones was right on base, man, in a lot of shit, in a bunch of shit, and to be honest with you, it's, when you really think about it, like, the shit that he was saying, it was like, imagine if that was true. Imagine if some of this was true, what he was saying, because we always knew a bunch of shit was true that he was talking about because he proved it. But imagine if that was true, like if it really was true that they're eating babies, that they're, well, it is fucking true. It is true. And it's so fucking scary. And the shit that's coming out of it is scary. And to see that bitch, Ghislaine Maxwell, get up on the stand the other day and to make a mockery of all these young kids that were tortured, raped, victimized, you know, kidnapped. There were stories in there about, you know, kids being held at the island for weeks on end, for days. There's a story in there about this girl who was pregnant twice with Epstein's baby, and both times they took the baby away from her when it was first born, and she never saw it again. And then you hear the stories about them eating and killing and like all this shit that these people are supposedly doing in there. And I don't give a fuck if someone's name is in there 5 times or 1,000,000 times. And it's they're, like, if they're guilty and their name's in there, then they're guilty, period. You know, it's like, all these people saying all this shit one way or another, and it's like, the Democrats are all acting like they care now, and a lot of them could give 2 fucks for the last 4 years about the Epstein files, even for 15 years, or not even the files for that long, but about Epstein in general. All these interviews that are coming out now about Epstein on the internet are insane, like real interviews with him. I sat down and watched this like 2-hour interview with Epstein, and he talked openly about how he was put on the board of all these fucking like sick, like high-end, big money corporation, money-making machine, fucking industry, rich, most powerful people in the world, and all the emails. All those emails tell quite a fucking story. And if you sit there and you read all those emails, holy shit. And you start lining things up like, hey, this guy said this in this email about this date and where he was going to be. And he's a famous person. So then you look it up and you find out that, holy shit, that dude was in America on these dates. And then everything just lines up and you're like, this shit's true. Holy fucking shit, this shit is true about a lot of these motherfuckers. Man. So, the more and more you get into it, and the more and more you start matching up shit for yourself, it really becomes a big truth fucking bomb. And this motherfucker yesterday, how she got up there and pleaded the fifth was just... the other day, it was so frustrating to see this bitch plead the fifth like that. It really was. It was like, what'd you guys even bring her on here for? What'd you guys even bring this bitch on for? To just sit here and fucking just plead the fifth constantly and constantly and constantly. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm gonna check out some videos on this and shit. And I'm just chilling tonight. There's no big show, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to like go over this shit and hang out for a little bit on this cold Wednesday night. But yeah, this shit is crazy. And like you read all this stuff, it's insane. And the stuff that I'm not going to come on here and I don't want to like defend anyone. I don't want to come on here and defend Trump. I'm not doing that. I'm not coming on here and defending the other people's whose names are in here. Like, all this shit speaks for itself. Everybody, if they really care, they could sift through it themselves and find out for themselves what the fucking deal is. It's very easy to find out. And you can judge whether you believe what you're reading or not. Because, listen, a lot of shit is emails. And the emails prove a lot of shit. Once you line shit up, once you look, it's there. It's literally there, for a lot of these guys. And I hate to say it, some of them are in Trump's cabinet right now. And there's no doubt about it, And that's the scary fucking part. Like, I don't know. Did Trump know about these guys being involved in all this shit? I mean, everybody's fucking name is in this thing. Even fucking, And what was funny? At the Super Bowl the other night, for those of you that watched, on your screen, up pops Jay-Z. And I was like, wait a second. I heard that Jay-Z bounced, like, out of the country. I heard that he had 5 passports, and he made a comment like, hey, even if they came after me, they ain't getting me, type of thing. And then there he was, Jay-Z, for everyone to see in the Super Bowl, proud of his choice for the Super Bowl halftime show, which I definitely got to talk about that, too, because... I was very mixed about the Super Bowl show. Very mixed about it. Like, a part of me was like, all right, you know what? He didn't take full shot at the U.S., but subconsciously he did. And, you know, I think the president went a little too far and said it totally sucked and it sucked and it sucked and it was horrible and it was this and it was, yeah, you know what? If you think it sucked, say it, but, like, don't go overboard, bro. We get where you're coming from already. I think he could have went a lot further with what he was trying to push, Bad Bunny. But I don't think he went that far. But I also think it was a great propaganda fucking halftime show. Like, if you're into propaganda and like, you believe in that shit, like, you watch it and it actually, like, you know, makes you think a certain way, well, then the Super Bowl halftime show was great then for those people who are influenced by shit like that. You know? And I also, all right, so when the show was live, the Super Bowl, I watched, halftime came, and I went and I flipped over to the other channel, or to YouTube, and I started watching the Great American Halftime Show. I watched that with my wife, and I said, yeah, we're going to switch back after this ends and watch the rest of the Super Bowl. And then, like, tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to watch the fucking halftime show with Bad Bunny, which I did. So I seen both shows. You know, and the Bad Bunny show was like a play. It was like a off-Broadway play in the middle of the Super Bowl field. And, you know, it had its moments for kids. And I'm sure, and listen, I've heard everybody's reactions from that asshole to that asshole. Everybody's had their reactions already. They're so quick to give you their reactions. They're on like 5 minutes after the fucking halftime show and off the air. You know, like, relax. You could give you a comment a day or two later. Relax. It's not going to, the internet's not going to disappear, you know. But, you know, it was like, so it was a big to-do. They probably spent a shitload of money on making that halftime show with the corn and you know what I found a little disrespectful? Like I said, Bad Bunny could have he could have went a little farther with, like, pushing the propaganda and the bullshit or his message, and he didn't, so I give him credit for that, right? And I want to be objective. I don't want to be a total, like, one-sided asshole looking at that Super Bowl. So I do give him credit for that. He could have went further. Green Day could have went further, even though I can't stand fucking Green Day now, and the lead singer, who's another hypocrite in Hollywood. You know, they could have went further. But when they said God bless America, and then he started, like, mentioning every, you know, country with them in the Americas with America, and all those flags with our flag, it just seems so out of place to me, because it's the National Football League, right? National Football League, right? And football is our version of, you know, like, soccer. You know, it's our game. It's America's game. It's in the National Football League, you know, and it just seems like, why are we, I get you want to, like, reach out to other people and you want to, like, grow your league. And I know that wasn't the reason why they got Bad Bunny to do the Super Bowl show. And I found out the real reason why they got him to do the show was really money, because Apple wanted to sell his new songs, and they wanted to kick it off that night by him doing the Super Bowl, for him selling his music on Apple Music. And Apple pushed all those people like, yo, we want Bad Bunny for the halftime show, and they got him. So it really came down to money, and then they used it as propaganda because of what's going on. You know what I mean? Incorporating all these other countries into, like, the halftime show was like their message of, like, you know, we're not animals, we're not, and no one's ever said one time that anybody who's an illegal is an animal. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of them were, but not all of them, obviously. You know, just like the argument that we had on Saturday about billionaires, which I did look up a lot of shit about billionaires to see if there are a lot of good billionaires, but man, they mostly are cocksuckers and devil worshipping faggots. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so it was all about money, really, and it was turned into propaganda and all that bullshit to push all this shit. And don't forget, the commissioner of football, Goodell, is like this fucking guy who he wants to push the game outside of our country so bad and to grow it so bad to make more money and more money and more money. Why can't we do outside of America what we did inside of America? And it's like, but you're the National Football League. You know, you're not the World Football League. You know, you're like, I don't know. That's the only negative thing that I saw about the Super Bowl halftime show. Not to mention, I didn't understand a fucking word he was saying, just like everybody else complained. Nobody could understand a word he was fucking saying, and that was kind of lame. It's like, this is supposed to be the halftime show. I can't even understand what the fucking guy is saying. I think that's a little ridiculous, you know? So, you have that, too. So it's like, you know, it really wasn't great. It really wasn't. And to tell you the truth, when I switched over to the other halftime show, it's more country music, which I'm not into. All right, I didn't know any of the people up there except for Kid Rock, maybe. It looked like it was a very small audience surrounding the concert that they had going on. It sounded like, okay, at the Super Bowl, it definitely sounded like they pumped in crowd volume during Bad Bunny's performance. During his performance, I swear to you, I'm almost 1,000% that they pumped in sound music, like sound, crowd sound, on purpose to make it sound like it was accepted bigger and better than it really was. Because if you really pay attention to the crowd during Bad Bunny's performance, you will see that the fucking crowd, most of them, except for the people right up on the stage where he was at the end, weren't even looking at him. They were all moving around, getting food, doing this during the halftime, and no one was paying attention to him, 20 rows up and beyond in the stadium. All right? So for that type of noise from a crowd to be blasting through that stadium, it sounded like the entire stadium was wrapped up in this halftime show, staring at it and clapping and dancing, which they were not. They were not. If you look at the video, you'll see they're not into it. They pumped the feed in. So if I'm going to say that about that halftime show, I got to say it about the other one. The Great American Halftime Show definitely pumped in crowd sound as well. There's no doubt about it. I know sounds. I know editing with sounds and this and that. And anybody that does will know that sounds were pumped in on both fucking shows. And I noticed that on the halftime show, the Great American one, because the crowds were very small, and at one point it sounded very big. And I was like, that doesn't sound real. I'm saying it in my head and listening to it. And when I rewatched it, I knew it even more. So I don't know if the manipulation of like trying to make something sound like it's bigger than it is fair. You know what I mean? Like, why does TV get to like finagle with reality? You know what I mean? Why do they get to edit reality? It's bullshit. Just give us the pure natural feed of what's going on, bad or good. Like, I don't fucking get that. Oh shit, it's Balloon! It's Balloon! It's Balloon! It's Balloon! It's Balloon! It's Balloon! What up, Balloon? How you doing, baby partner? It's the boy. It's the man. It's the man, fucking blowing in. Hot damn, goddamn, hot damn, motherfucking man. Took a gram, smoke another gram. Hot damn man, smoke another gram. Get yourself a tan. Get yourself a tan, smoke another gram. Get your double bang. Got a double bang. Get yourself a tan, smoke another gram.
Blonin tipped $20.
Balloon.
Love your shows, bark bark.
Blonin.
I normally watch them afterwards.
Blonin.
Cool to catch you live on a Wednesday.
Yes.
Nobody watching Dynamite anymore, lol.
Well, I didn't even realize that was on, to tell you the truth. But, dude, thank you so much for that, Mr. Blonin. Shout out to the OG Blonin, who has been around on all the streams and everybody. Shout out to him, Blonin. Yeah, I came on a Wednesday night. I haven't been going live during the weekdays much. Tonight, I'm sitting around doing not much. I'm inside with Shannon, and I was like, I feel like going live. And she was like, go ahead. And I'm watching my show. So I came out and I'm live, and I'm going to check out some videos here. And I know people want to hear me comment on what happened Saturday night with me and Mello, and all that shit, and what's the latest reports on that. And I will give an update for everybody very soon. So, but yeah, man, thank you, Blonin. Shout out to you. Thank you for catching me. I guess wrestling is on right now. I wasn't even sure if it was. But shout out to you. I'm going to take a nice big hit of the 3.0 fucking just monster fucking animal weed that this shit is. It's insane. This shit is sick. It's good. It's really good. But I'm going to take a big old hit for you. Thank you so much, man. The Blonin, who is at home chilling right now on a Wednesday. Hump day, baby. Thank you, Blonin. I'm a very lucky man, Bloated. I'm a very lucky man, Bloated. I'm extremely lucky, bro. Like, I have no reason to be mad at anybody or upset with people. Like, yeah, the politics and all that bullshit piss me off, and I might get, like, you know, irritated by it and shit. But if you ask my wife, you ask my kids, you ask anybody that's in my life, like, I never, like, if I'm in an attitude, it's because of something, like, personal in my head or something, and I'm never really ever there. Once in a while I am, and maybe the last 20 shows, somebody said that, you know, the last 20 shows it's been building up, between you guys, me and Mello, and it was like, you know, I didn't notice, maybe I didn't notice the last 20 shows, but I definitely noticed the last, like, you know, 3 or 4 shows to me. But I don't know, man, I'm not like, you know, who knows, bro. Who knows what was leading up, but I mean, the world is fucking crazy. There's a lot of shit to debate and talk about, you know? It's like, you can't really sit there and say, you know, you're not going to touch on certain things, because it's like, it's inevitable. You know what I mean? So, it's like, you can never say, yeah, we're not doing this, but, you know, you can make an effort to not bring politics in once in a while. That's definitely. Like, you got to be conscious of that every once in a while. Say, yo, let's just chill tonight, and let's not really get on that bullshit. And that should happen, you know, every once in a while. For your sanity, for fun's sake, and for, you know, that's definite. And, you know, there should be sometimes where it's like, you're not talking about that bullshit, you know? But for the most part, you got to be natural. You got to let it flow. You got to let it go. You got to just be yourself. You got to just say what's on your mind. You got to say what's coming up, what's brought up, what's here, what's there, you know? And if it gets ugly and it gets heated and it gets like blah, 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 well, you know what? You know, honestly, in my mind, I've always like, you know, we could always work it out, you know, because nothing is too bad that you can't work it out in the end. That's me. That's how I feel, you know? But yeah, I kind of spoke to Mello and had an interaction with him. Not like I wanted to yet. I am going to hit him up on a phone call. But we did send messages back and forth to each other. And so, like, we really haven't talked about shit, which we definitely need to. But I think he's in the mindset, without really speaking to him of like, yo, let's just make things right, and then maybe he needs to take a break, or like whatever the case may be, and maybe I need to take a break from politics, you know, like that's what I'm getting at, like, you know. But it's all shit that matters to me, because it's like I'm in a different area, I'm older, you know, like I have a family to take care of, so like a lot of that shit does affect me, and I know it affects him and others, but you know, like I'm in a different mindset really than him, you know, and not saying it's better or worse. I'm just in a different one. I'm an older person too, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think I have like 10 years on him. So there's a decade difference there. I'm in a different area, you know, where God only knows where he could be 10 years from now. He might have a fucking family and 3 kids. You never know. And he could be, you know, I'm just saying, we all change. We all move around. We all, you know, the show was different many years ago. I was skits and bits, which I still do, but not as much, obviously. But the channel's changed. I've changed. You know what I mean? And for the better, for the worse, I don't know. God will be the judge of that shit. And so will you people. And you know what? We all have opinions, like we all said last week. And like we all say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. You know? We all think our opinions matter. You know? But at the end of the day, they're all just opinions. And it's like, what do we really know? What do we really know? If you think about it, we really know shit. We really know shit. It's sad to say, but we really know nothing. And it's scary. Because this shit, like I said at the beginning, this shit is marked with the devil. It's marked with the devil, man. Everything Alex Jones said 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when he was saying they're killing babies, they're having sex with each other, they're you know, they refer to little kids as hot dogs and beef jerky with babies, and we used to sit there and go, what? And Frog's gay, and what? This guy's out of his fucking mind. He's not so crazy, man. Reading the Epstein files, he's not so fucking crazy now, man. He's just not. You cannot sit there and tell me he's crazy now. He's crazy with the truth. You want to say that? You want to say that Alex Jones is crazy with the truth? Okay, say that. Because he is, man. The guy's right on the button, bro. He's right on the fucking button. And you know what? All this other shit that I used to make fun of him about, like with Trump and all this, like 2 years ago, he was like, Trump's going to die in a plane crash, a tank's going to hit him, a weed whacker's going to cut his throat. He used to say every fucking possible thing you could say that Trump was going to die from. And I used to sit there and go, this guy's a real fucking lunatic idiot. I cannot listen to this guy anymore. And it totally turned me off towards him. But God only knows, he could have been right on, man. Who knows? You know? Who the fuck knows? You know, like, it's just crazy. And then today, they say that these people, okay, so the Epstein files that dropped had a lot of MP3s in it and, you know, all this shit, you know, recordings and videos and photos and this and that, right? And they were all coded with, like, you know, the codes that are on videos and all this shit, right? And photos and sounds. And so they said that one of them was something that you could change into a MP4 or something like that, some weird shit like that. And they found the missing minute from the Epstein video of the night that he supposedly committed suicide. So this guy, these people online on Reddit, they all claim that they were able to decode this thing and to flip it and find that 1 minute with the time right next to it. So this guy played it today on YouTube, and I was blown away by it, like, because you do see a person walking right in that minute that they said was taken out by a computer. Blown it, what the fuck, bro? Put your body skip, put your body skip. When I fuck you skip. Wanna suck, skip. Wanna fuck, skip. Wanna suck, skip. Wanna fuck, skip. Skip in the butt.
Where's my fucking money?
Skip.
Fucking lazy piece of fucking shit!
I'ma call you dip, I'ma call you lip.
Skip, you
I'ma fuck you, Skip.
But I am telling you, right?
Some bitch!
Skip.
Oh, you
Blaney
motherfucker!
tipped $20. Your life's been fire. Willing to talk to other sides. When it comes to politics, it's boring when everyone agrees. Keep up the great work. You should do a show where you just battle Democrats. I would watch and enjoy.
Damn.
You're a great guy, Ken.
Dude.
Bark, bark.
Blown, and thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know me a long time. You know all of us. We all know each other a long time. And I appreciate you still being around and saying something like that these many years later because, you know, listen, whether you're one of the people that say I fucked up Saturday and days and shows leading up to what happened with Mello, or you're one of the people that say I didn't fuck up, or whatever the case is, like, I just thank you for being here, every one of them. And like, you know me, dude, like I don't want to have a beef with a friend, you know what I mean? Like, that's not why I'm on here. And it sucks that it gets to a point where it's like an argument. And you know what? I don't really watch what I say sometimes, bro, and I say stupid shit, and and I'm a bad human sometimes, bro, as far as like, you know, interrupting and being a big mouth and all that shit. And I get it. I do. And I'm not denying it, you know, like, that's been one of my problems. I'm a big mouth, bro. That's my problem. Growing up as a kid, I was a wise ass. I had a big mouth. The older kids used to fucking tease me, pick on me, fight me, punch me, and then I would open my mouth and be a wise ass. And I got that, like, I had that mouth on me as a kid that, you know, I was the type of kid that, you know, driving by in my father's car and I'd see you on the street and I'd be like, and then when you would see me one-on-one, I'd be like, oh shit, here we go, and I'm gonna have to pay for that now. But, you know, like, I was a wise ass, so I get it. I had a big, you know, and, you know, we could only work on ourselves, right? So it's like, I've tried, you know, to like, you know, there was a couple of times during that stream on Saturday that I wanted to back out of talking about politics. I don't know if people picked up on it. It was at least twice that I was like trying to pull out of it, but I don't know. I can't explain why things got to where they got, or I really think it's a product of what's going on in the world. And you are right. It is better to have people who don't always see eye to eye talking to each other. Honestly. Because if you're listening to people that always agree with each other and you always agree with them, what the fuck is the sense of watching that? Like, you got to be tested. And you know what? A person never stops learning, man, until their last day, until their last minute. You know, and no one's ever truly knows everything. You know, as much as we want to say, well, maybe Dave Rose. But, you know, no one ever truly knows anything, you know, everything. So it's like, but we all believe in what we believe, and we push it, and not push it, but like we speak it. And it's like, yeah, sometimes we say stupid shit, you know, when we're pissed or we're frustrated. So, you know, these are all things that I like. It really is a product of what's going on, man, because years ago we never got into debates that were like, well, we did get into debates about shit that were that intense, but it wasn't about politics. You know, it was about drama or like, you know, sports or an argument over something, you know, sporting wise or something stupid like that. It was never really over politics. There really wasn't fighting in this community over politics. There was questions, always, but never like people who were like, you know, butting heads. You know what I mean? So look, I don't want to be a far right Republican. Just like I don't think Mello wants to be a far left Democrat. You know what I'm saying? But you might be able to say that about me, and you might be able to say that about him. But I know I don't want to be that guy, and I don't think he wants to. So the bottom line is, if we don't want to be those guys, then we obviously, some people think we are. And that's by our words. So, like, if you don't want to be that guy, then you have to pull yourself back to the middle somehow by your actions or your words or whatever. I don't know, but I don't want to be a fucking hard left, a hard right Republican. I don't want to be. I want to be a fucking, like, common sense fucking human. I want to go by common sense. I want my politicians to go by common sense. You know, common sense says if you're going to go vote, it's good to show an ID. I mean, you got to show an ID to fucking drink. You got to show one to fucking, you know, go on a plane. You got to show one for a million fucking things. What's the big deal about, you know, this SAVE Act shit really needs to pass. It's a very big, huge, important thing in our lives, this SAVE Act. They need to get it by. The Republicans should be forgetting about everything else. Epstein, this Steen, that Steen. Forget about all the fucking Jew-Steens and concentrate right now on getting that bill passed, because that is the key. If we could keep illegal motherfuckers from voting in this country, then that means we could always vote in the right fucking person. If we don't get that, and we let these fucking scumbags like fucking Schumer say that it's like racist to do this, to get people to show their IDs to vote, then we're fucked. We're fucked if they do, because then they could have every Tom, Dick, and fucking Jose vote wherever the fuck they want then. So that thing needs to pass. All right, it's not a racist thing. It's a normal thing. It's common fucking sense. It's common sense. So that's a very important thing. I don't know if you guys all know that, man, but that thing is very important. There's certain things in there too that will protect us as Americans down the road, like real Americans. So they need to get that shit the fuck done. But anyway, all right, I'm going to check out some of these videos here. There's good old Bill, about to get his knob all rubbed out nice. They're going to be testifying in front of Congress, which Bill asked if I do testify, would it be possible if I can maybe get it to go public in front? I want it to be public for everyone to see, because I feel like the truth needs to come out now. This asshole asked for his testimony to be public. Well, why would Clinton ask for his shit to be public? A lot of people are questioning that and saying, why would he ask that? Like, is he going to rat out everybody now and fucking blow up the whole situation? And look, all they do is keep showing this, right? When in reality, Trump really had nothing to do with any of this shit.
Justice last month is a
Let's hear
four-page
this shit.
FBI report on an interview the Bureau conducted in 2019 with the man believed to be former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder. Ryder and his detectives began investigating Epstein for human trafficking in 2004. According to the document, Trump called Ryder around that time and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." Ryder also says Trump said he threw Epstein out of his club, and he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. The former police chief says Trump told him to focus on Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she is evil.
Did you have any suspicions that he was molesting young women,
No, I had
underage
no
women?
idea. I had no idea.
Trump has long denied having any knowledge of Epstein's crimes, but Ryder says Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein. This morning, a new...
Now, so... I mean, come on. Come on. They're not saying that about anybody else in the fucking Epstein files, are they? Are they claiming that anyone else in those files fucking called the cops? What's going on here? Who is this? It's blown in again!
Donuts. 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 Donuts.
Donuts. Donuts.
I'm in the best shape of my life.
My wife leans Democrat, I lean Republican, but the debates between both sides is healthy. Great entertainment as well. Just keep being you, Ken. Bark, bark.
The pit bull. The one and only. The dog. Blown in. You know, that's a healthy relationship, I'll tell you that. Like, the debates between you and your wife must get, like, you know, but that's good because, you know, as long as you're not brawling over it, that's good that you guys could, like, have a relationship and be able to, you know, like, be on the opposite sides of that shit, and still keep everything together. That speaks volumes for, that sets an example for America right there. You know what I mean? That sets an example for America right there. A couple that are on either side that can work it out and still be good together and, you know, still make it work. A young couple, you know, so that's a good example, man, for where America needs to be honest. Because you got to be able to speak, you know, and I'm saying that about myself, you know, it's like, I got to learn to, you know, speak and use more of like, facts than just, you know, speaking from emotion. Nahin?
Coming to light claims in the mid-2000s, President Trump called police about Jeffrey Epstein among the 3 million.
All right.
Just going to wait here just a moment, see if there's anybody who comes on. I just wanted to talk to a couple of you. My name is John Paul Rice, for the people watching that may not know who I am. My friends know me. I'm an independent film producer. I've been in Hollywood for about 20 years. I started my film career in Remember the Titans, worked at Senator International, later Mandate Pictures under the producers who did Juno, The Grudge, Harold and Kumar, Stranger Than Fiction, and eventually The Hunger Games when they went back into Lionsgate. The reason I wanted to talk to everybody here today is because over the course of the last week or two, we have found out without notification that Amazon.com, for which we have 6 of our movies on there, our film A Child's Voice, which has been on there for over 1.5 years in the UK, the United States, and now 70 other countries, was suddenly, without notification, removed entirely from their platform. They unpublished it, and they made it not searchable in most of the sites. We've only tested a few outside of the United States, but the one in the United States, if you put in A Child's Voice in Amazon.com, you can't find it on the 1,100 pages that they'll give you back on your searches. The only way that you can get it is through a direct link, and we discovered this because the director's daughter had sent the links out to several of her friends when the Wayfair scandal broke, as well as the Maxwell files being released in the last 48 hours. And Amazon came back to us. They gave us a very standard corporate non-committal response that said, we make a lot of changes, we do this and that and the other, we judge things based on performance, but they couldn't give us a very specific answer. And we all know what the answer is. What our movie did before Epstein was known about in the public and before Maxwell was known about in the public is we found a network of pedophiles among a global network of people who were selling kids back and forth to each other, trading them like candy. It goes right in through Hollywood. If you look at the Daily Beast article, you'll see that Jeffrey Epstein had a pipeline right into Hollywood through Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God, man. So this is what they mean by, like, if you take everybody down that did something in the Epstein files, right, with kids, you're going to collapse the entire system. And I'm trying to figure out how that would happen. And I looked into a lot of it, and I saw so many reasons on why it would happen. And then I saw so many reasons on why it wouldn't happen. And what this guy is talking about has everything to do with it. It's all connected, like he said. It is all connected to all these motherfuckers, right? And kids are being taken from countries, are being taken from our country, from other countries. Kids are being impregnated and having kids, okay? Young girls are being impregnated and having kids at a very young age, illegally, obviously, kidnapped and impregnated and actually giving birth to these babies that are being used to either be beef jerky or killed or sacrificed or whatever it may be. All right. There's stuff about baby BJs in there. I don't even want to say the word. All right. That, like, it goes that deep and that far into this crazy satanic driven craziness that's the Epstein files. I mean, it is fucking outlandish that the world is just acting like no big deal at this point, when we have a bunch of pedophile, devil-worshipping, baby-eating fucking, like, cannibals running our world. It's fucking insane. It's like almost like, oh, yeah, it's in the Bible. It's pretty normal at this point. Like, what? That's where we're at now? Are we that jaded? Are we that jaded? Are we thinking, oh, that's the Epstein files, you can't believe everything in it, so whatever. I get that. I get that view. And we spoke about this on Saturday and said, like, yo, so what are we supposed to do besides just live our lives? And yeah, I get it. I agree with that. Like, what can I do? What can we do about these devil-worshipping motherfuckers? Like, what can we do? Nothing. We could just hope that the people we put in charge will do something about it. But, like, half the people you get to vote for are involved in this shit. And the crazy thing is, it's only the young people in these parties that are not involved in this shit. And I'm sad to say that all those young people in the Democrat side are all the ones who believe in, like, you know, defunding the police and all the woke shit and all that crazy shit. And none of their names are in that shit. None of their names. All these other politicians are all in it. All these older Democrats are all in it. Like 60 years older and up are all in the fucking Epstein files, Democrats. And none of the young ones are in there. And it's scary because if they start picking people off like they are in England here in the U.S., which I don't think will happen, those young people that are in the Democratic Party will then be totally ruling that party, which it won't even be the Democratic Party anymore. I don't know what it will be, but, you know. And I'm just speaking my opinion at this point, guys. There's nothing fact. I mean, yeah, there is some shit factual here, but what I'm saying, I'm just speculating and just talking from the heart. So, okay? And like I was saying before, because somebody texted me, said, finish what you were saying about that, but being a lucky guy. But I am a lucky person, because I was going to say, like, look at the shit that I have and that I've got given to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thankful for that shit. That's why I don't bust up my equipment or treat my shit like shit. Like, I'm very thankful to have what I do have. You know what I mean? Do I want more? Yeah, we all do. We all fucking do. I wish I had a nice radio in my car that I could drive back and forth to work and have like my phone displayed on my inside of my car, because I have an old radio in there. It sucks, and I'm like, man, maybe one day I should go out and buy it, but it's too much money. And I'm like, you know what? I got to use that shit for the kids and other shit. Like, you know, it's like going back to the weed shit and all this and that. Like, you can't be too selfish with your shit because like you're on a tight budget. Like, everybody's on a fucking budget, you know. That's one thing I hate hearing about. Oh, the economy's coming back and this bullshit. Shit got crazy after fucking COVID, and it never came down. All right, everything went up except for our pay. So, like, what are we talking about here? Shit is not great. Shit is not great. But it's also not bad. So, like, my point is, I am a lucky person. And you know what? I'm just happy to be an American. And as fucked up as this country is, I thank God I live here. Because if I lived anywhere else, I mean, there's a couple other spots that I could think of that I wouldn't mind living. But I thank God that I am where I am. And I am who I am. And I am from where I am. And I have the things that I do have. So, you know, like, my point is, like, I'm not as surly or as pissy or as mad as maybe some people think I might have been or I've been acting lately. And maybe I'm acting like that because of what's going on in this world and where I've been and what I've seen in the last 2 or 3 years has, like, it's changed maybe my thought process or maybe my edge a little bit. I don't know. But I don't want to rub anybody in the wrong way. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm on this shit. I am not here to hurt people. I am not here to push people away. And I know that once Trump almost got shot in the fucking head, I went full fucking bore with Trump. I did. I admitted it. I said, man, I'm going full bore with this guy now, bro. I fucking fell in love with him after that, bro. The way that he got up after he got shot, like, I was just so like, damn, what would I have done if I almost got shot in the fucking head and I had a bullet nick my ear? Like, would I be doing that? I don't think so. So I kind of like was like, wow, what that dude's made of something else, you know? And I went gung-ho with it for a while. And I liked what I was seeing, and I still do for the most part. But there is shit that I see and I hear that I do not like. You know, and a lot of people are saying that. So, but I'm talking about overall. I'm not just talking about Trump. I'm talking about overall, man. A lot of these people that I thought were decent people are like, everything's in question. With this Epstein shit, everything is in question, guys. Everything is in question now. Every politician that comes up the pike, every person that comes close to taking over power, it's all in question from here on out, like with everybody. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what side you're on. Are you a devil worshiper? Are you a fucking satanic motherfucker? Like, no, we can't keep voting these crazy motherfuckers in anymore. We need to know who they are before they fucking get in there. Before they start changing rules. Before they start putting people into power all over the country that get to stay there their whole lives. Like Supreme Court and all these other places that get to appoint shit. Look at these two fucking whack jobs. You want to start off with changing things? Grab these two and hang them by their fucking balls. These two are fucking crazy bastards right here, man. He cheated on her for fucking years and she knew it, and she didn't give a fuck as long as she was able to run for president one day. As long as I'm able to run for president one day, Bill, I'll stay with you. As long as your power's behind me, Bill, I'll stay with you. You could cheat on me and suck and fuck whoever you want. I'll stay with you, Bill. Just for that power. Fucking just ridiculous, man. Disgusting fucks. Look at this. This is all fake shit. See how they got Trump here like this? Look, this is all fake shit. Look, all computer generated shit. And they're like, oh, not AI. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. That's not AI. Right. Donald Trump was that jacked up. Okay. Right. At that age, Donald Trump was skinny as shit if you go back and look at him. There's no way he was pumped like that, bro. That's bullshit. Don't tell me that's not AI, because I know it is. That photo would have been out. So, dude, what people don't get is this shit all existed. The prior administration, Obama, you know, all these other administrations had their hands on this shit. They would have burnt Trump to a core if they had it. I mean, like, what the fuck don't you get? That's common fucking sense will tell you this. Oh, did you guys hear this? This was crazy.
I mean, how many?
Listen to this shit. Listen to this.
Would you be shocked to learn that?
This is fucking Aaron Rodgers. the quarterback, the ex-Jet. The ex-Jet. This is crazy. I knew this guy was weird, but, I mean, listen, he's not so weird. Listen.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself?
No.
Would you be shocked to learn that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself?
No. I mean, how many Jeffrey Epstein type people are out there?
Well, that's right.
That's the real question.
You mean people who've been killed, or people who are using sex as a blackmail tool?
That.
Yep.
And then who's pulling the strings on that?
Hollywood.
Any guesses?
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell has a lot of ties to the Mossad.
Yep.
Whoa.
That would make sense. I mean, Jeffrey didn't seem to get some of the appointments he was given in the prominence based on merit. Somebody was putting him in the right spots.
Yep.
But I don't think he's the only one. I think there's a problem, a weird, bizarre problem, really, that has a weird sex component to it with some of the elites, and there's a pedophile component to it as well.
Wow.
Which is really sick.
I can't believe a quarterback in the NFL, a sitting quarterback in the NFL. This is where we're at right now, man. That like, you know, listen, 20 years ago, 30 fucking years ago, never. 40 years ago, hell no. 50 years ago, never in a million years would you hear a sitting quarterback in the NFL or maybe any other sport be able to come out and say some shit like that right there and get away with it. Those people did not get away with shit like that back in the day. If they said some shit like that, they were done. They were done. So that's where we're at now, where the shit has become so prominent and so proven, and so many clues pointing towards Pizzagate, all this shit. They said Pizzagate was fake. They said it was all bullshit. It's all real, man. It's all fucking real. The code words, all of it. Beef jerky, hot dog, all of it. Do the research. It's fucking real. There are Satan, you know, worshiping fucking sex, like molesting fucking whack jobs out there. Demons. Demons, man. Thank God my kids are grown now. Thank God my kids are grown up now, man. Because, like, if I had a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old at this point right now, I'd be like, what the fuck? I don't want to let this kid out of my sight. That movie, Eyes Wide Shut, you know, Stanley Kubrick, like, you know, they killed that motherfucker. They killed that motherfucker while that movie was coming out because he exposed everything in that movie. He fucking exposed it all. You want to go watch a good movie? Even if you've watched that movie and you still remember some of it, go watch it again because, man, does it tie into every fucking thing that's going on right now. It's scary as shit. Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise. It's a fucking scary movie now. Like, when you see it now, it's like, oh, here's Ghislaine in jail. Look, this is her. All right, so Trump was asked to give her clemency for her to fucking rat out everybody. And he said, fuck her. Like, she ain't getting shit. No, she ain't getting off. But you know what gets me? And I'm not saying they should give her clemency. I don't think this woman should be a free person by any means, right? But you know what gets me? They'll go and they'll take a guy like Sammy the Bull, who supposedly killed 30 fucking people, right? And they'll give him fucking freedom just to get to a mafia boss like John Gotti, who's probably not as bad as even fucking Sammy the Bull was, right? And they'll give that guy freedom to fucking rat out the mafia boss, right? But they won't give her freedom to rat out all these fucking high elite billionaire cocksuckers that fuck kids. Like, why can't we make another deal with her and not say, you know, why can't we take her? She's not a U.S. citizen, right? Why can't we technically take her and transfer her ass to Guantanamo Bay and say now she's in Guantanamo Bay, she's not in America, so now we could torture this bitch and we could have her tell us every fucking thing that she knows without any deal, without anything, okay? You're not an American citizen. You get the fucking laws and the rules of our fucking court system when you're going through it. But you know what? We could deport your ass and we could put you in Guantanamo Bay because you don't belong here anyway. And we could fucking torture the fuck out of you there so we don't break any laws or regulations here. You know, because this is about kids. This is about devil worshiping shit. This is about biblical shit. This is about the devil and God shit. Don't you think that this is important enough to maybe not break the rules, but maybe bend them a little, or maybe like go around them for this one? You know, we're not talking terrorists. We're not talking mafia. We're talking kids. We're talking fucking satanic shit. Maybe we can bend the rules a little bit and get around this one with the fucking court shit, where this bitch can go into a court and fucking stand in there and go, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. Imagine if some big burlap motherfucking black dude came up behind and went, bitch, what you say? And she was like, excuse me? And he was like, listen, you say one more time, you gonna plead the fifth, I'm gonna plead the fifth all over your fucking face, white girl. And she's like, what do you, help me please? And they're like, no, we can't help you. Can't help you. You got to tell us some names. But I'm pleading the fifth. You can't hurt me. Yeah, we can. Tyrone, take care of this bitch. Boom! Just start rocking this bitch. You gonna say names? You gonna say names? I plead the fifth. You plead the fifth, motherfucking plead this. Bite right in the fucking head. You twatty fuck. You fucking Ghislaine. Ugh. It pisses me off that bitch got to fucking sit there and say that. Look at this cunt. Look at this cunt. She's fast, bro, though. I gotta give her credit. Look at the way she moves around that room. I guess you get really fast when you go out and you fucking recruit girls, little girls, you know? Look at her. Speedy fucking Orange Gonzalez over here, this twat. She should rot in jail the rest of her fucking life.
Epstein, fuck niggas. Choose.
Go Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine.
Go Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine. Go. Choose.
Jizz Ghislaine.
She got jizz in it. She got jizz in it. Jizz Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine. Go jizz. Go jizz. Go Ghislaine Maxwell. Go Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine. Go Ghislaine Maxwell. Keep Go Ghislaine Maxwell. Over to the Maxwell. Go Ghislaine. Look at her. Look at her. Look at that orange bitch. Look at that orange bitch. Look at that orange bitch. Choose. Sorry. I had to do it.
That was her dance and her, look at her. She don't stop. She don't stop, this bitch. Ghislaine, calm down. Ghislaine, Guzzle, the glizzies, the gluzzles. Look at them two. Just look at them. Sprawling out. Look at that. Just look at him getting his foot rubbed. He's like, you don't rub my foot. I'll get a 13-year-old in here to rub it if you're not gonna. Look at the life this fucking guy lived, huh? Lived a lap of fucking luxury. So these two know each other quite a long time. I don't know, what did she see in this guy? Like power, money, Mossad? Maybe Mossad put them both together.
The crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Is that supposed to be a bad thing?
The crux of the theory is this belief that you
voice. Ghislaine has no soul. And you know yourself have been through trying to take her down. And the reason why I've had to go through that is because she's a dangerous human being. She will reoffend, and reoffend.
This bitch looks like a vampire.
Ever. She had no remorse in her voice. Ghislaine has no soul.
Wow.
And you know yourself what I've been through trying to take her down.
This is one of the victims.
And the reason why I've had to go through that is because she's a dangerous human being. She will reoffend, and reoffend. These people never stop.
Wow.
Ever. She had no remorse in her.
Wow. That's from a victim right there, man. That's from a victim right there. Like, you can't let these people out. You can't let them go. That's the difference between her and the fucking mafia, you know, rat. Is like, she can't let go. You can't let her go. You can't. She's done too much damage. Those mafia guys used to kill each other. You know, and once in a while they kill somebody on the outside, you know. But mostly just killed each other, you know. You know, these people, Ghislaine and this piece of shit, they went around this world and they kidnapped and impregnated and raped and set up and molested and fucking, you know, beat and just destroyed and killed and ate and consumed lives. Like, there's a big difference, you know, and a bitch like that should never walk this earth free, let alone afterlife. The afterlife, she shouldn't be free. And she won't be. You know, she set up too many good people, too many babies. You know how many babies these people are involved with fucking hurting and killing? Like, do you know what that means, man? You know, even the worst criminals in jail will fucking kill your ass. Even the worst, you know, people that you consider the worst people in our society still know that when you fucking touch a baby or a kid and you do something like that, that's even worse than the worst. That's the worst of the worst. And I don't give a fuck who you are on this world. You're going to pay. You're going to be in a I don't care if you believe in earth and in heaven, hell, and I don't care if you believe in nothing. I'm sorry. A person that fucking is involved with shit like that and does shit like that, I'm telling you right now, if there isn't one, they're going to create one, a hell, for that fucking twat and her boyfriend and the people that are involved with it. Trust me. If there ain't one, they're going to build it because those people are going to end up in a fiery fucking pit with demons somewhere. You can bet that ass.
I guess it'd be fucking crazy if she was actually a Disney Child Talent Scout.
Oh, I saw this.
For several years. Yeah. Here's some more pictures. Was this like, how did I not know this? I know a lot.
They're saying, this guy is saying that she worked for Disney and scouted kids back for Disney. Like, you know, some of this shit you can't believe until you got to research it and fucking see what the deal is.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Ghislaine Maxwell used to work at Disney? I guess it'd be fucking crazy if she was actually a Disney Child Talent Scout for several years. Yeah. Here's some more pictures. Was this like, how did I not know this? I know a lot of stuff about Jeffrey and Ghislaine, but I did not know that she actually worked for Disney. Here's some more pics. I guess it'd be really crazy if the Disney Cruise Line, well, let's just see. Well, St. Thomas and St. John excursions, right. I guess it'd be really crazy if the Disney Cruise Excursions, Spectacular and Family Adventures, went literally for a snorkel stop at Little St. James Island. What?
What?
What the fuck?
Wait a second. This guy is saying, holy fucking shit, what, bro? What? What? Yo, what the fuck? Wait a second. This guy is saying that cruise ship goes to fucking Epstein Island to snorkel, so they park the boat off of that island, and they even say they do. They mention the island's name to snorkel. So they bring families with little kids to Epstein's... What? Disney, what? What the fuck? Is that for real?
How? And I mean, I guess it'd be kind of crazy if all the symbols line up. Even the fucking...
Oh my God, look at that shit. I always wondered why that building had those on that. And I always said, man, that looks a little familiar though. I know I saw those like columns like that. What? No.
Ellen DeGenerate show. What the? Wouldn't it be crazy?
Wow, these are the victims of Epstein right here. These are the many victims of Epstein right here, yeah. Look at this. Holy shit, look how young they were. Wow. You see all these people, they need to get justice, man. We need justice for these fucking people, man. How could we not? How the fuck do we not? There's nothing to see here.
Children, giving them to somebody else for money that they get from the states are taking children, giving them to somebody else for money that they get from the federal government. That means that all 50 states are involved in government subsidized child trafficking. It's a ring.
What?
It's the largest and most pervasive child trafficking ring in the history of the world by sheer money and numbers.
Children are seized unnecessarily from their families due to the federal aid entitled the Adoption and Safe Families Act.
It was put into law in 1997 by Bill and Hillary Clinton, and I said it that way on purpose. And it is a law that literally steals money from the Social Security Fund and gives this money to the states in order to incentivize them to kidnap babies.
To receive the adoption incentives or bonuses, local CPS must have more children. They must have more merchandise to sell.
Every child, once you've added it all up, is worth approximately $1 million to the state. But we've been told that this is a $60 to $80 billion a year industry, meaning the federal government...
You know... Yo, look at this. The Epstein victim Super Bowl commercial was made by a group funded by Bill Gates. What? Under the umbrella, who also funded Ghislaine Maxwell project. They try to frame Trump when he's one that took them down. Holy what? This was funded by what? What a bunch of sneaky motherfuckers, man. What a bunch of sneaky fuckers, bro.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth. Because we all deserve the truth.
Now that Trump's in charge, we all deserve. We didn't care about this 4 years ago. I mean, 2 years ago or a year ago. We didn't care about this. But now we do. Now we care. I love these people who care now. They care now. You know? They just care now.
Spending time with my daughter on what was meant to be. Hi, my name's Anushka DeGiorgio, and I'm a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And today I'm not reading any of Virginia Giuffre's book. Over the weekend, when I was spending time with my daughter on what was meant to be a regenerative and recovery-based trip, doing some therapy, I got a message from my attorneys, Brad Edwards and Brittany Henderson, that pages and pages of my personal information.
I can't. Trump killed him. I love these people. After Jeffrey lost everything, Trump killed him. Yeah, okay, right. God damn, man, these people are out of their fucking minds.
Hill is shifting to the Jeffrey Epstein case this week as his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, prepares for her first deposition.
But there may not be as many fireworks because, as Congressman Ro Khanna claims, Maxwell plans to plead the fifth. Now, this also comes as lawmakers demand more transparency by forcing people like Bill and Hillary Clinton and the Gates to testify. So joining us now is a member of the House Oversight Committee, South Carolina.
Garbage.
Carolina gubernatorial candidate.
Absolutely nothing wrong in any possible regard. That I have done absolutely nothing wrong in any possible regard.
So I think he thought that those emails were never, ever going to see the light of day and that people were not going to be reading them with a fine-tooth comb.
That's right.
And so he felt very comfortable saying, I don't know, he's nasty. But you know.
Oh, man. Yeah, if he's involved, he should be fucking hung. That's it. I get it. But, like, they said this guy's involved. This fucking clown who keeps getting fucking ransom notes from Guthridge, the kidnapper, supposedly. The latest was just today, I guess. But this guy was in the Epstein files for some crazy shit, too. The head guy of Harvey Levenstein. Harvey Levenstein is in there. So, and he's so quick to fucking start saying shit about Trump too. And it's like, bro, you're in there yourself, dude.
Jeffrey Epstein believed that Donald Trump went to the Palm Beach police and said, Jeffrey Epstein has young.
I don't hear that about anyone else in the Epstein files at all. That they went to the police. That they told people, hey, these people are bad. Like, he even said something about Ghislaine Maxwell being a bad person to the police, supposedly.
Girls at his house, thereby beginning the legal process would ultimately bring Jeffrey Epstein down. Epstein believed that Donald Trump went to the Palm Beach police and said, Jeffrey Epstein has young girls at his house, thereby beginning the legal process which would ultimately bring Jeffrey Epstein down.
Now, is that true too? I mean, look, it's all right here. I mean, I'm in the way of that, but it's all right here. I mean, what do you believe? Like, what do we believe? What do we not believe? Like, it's all just so fucking just, I know what I want to believe, that this fucking piece of shit was involved. This weird motherfucker. This is ex fucking what was he? A royal, and he's not anymore. They kicked him out. He had to fucking leave where he was. All this and that. It looks like a coffin behind him that her feet are on. But yeah, this is weird shit, man. And people knew this guy was involved from day one. Like, people knew it. Jesus. I mean, this is like, what the fuck is he even doing here? Look at this shit. That's a young girl right there, man. Younger than my daughter, without a doubt. Probably younger than my youngest right there. Like, what the fuck? No way. What the fuck? Wow. I mean, look at some of the photos in this shit, dude. This fucking nasty fucking motherfucker this guy was, bro. This dude is a nasty motherfucker, bro. Got dildos and shit. Like, look at these photos, bro. This dude's fucking nuts, bro. Thank God all this shit is blacked out. Like, you can't see all of it, thank God. You know, because this shit is horrible. Like, you know, like, thank God they didn't release some of the bad shit, because this is bad enough, you know. I mean, they held back a lot of shit. Wow, if you look at all this shit, is crazy, man. Is like, what the fuck? Look how young these kids are. Yo, that's Barack Obama. Yo, what the fuck, bro? Are these real or is this AI, dude? What the fuck? That kid right there with Barack Obama is tied up right next to them in duct tape. Like, look, and then there's that kid again. Like, is this AI or is this fucking real? Look at this. Dude, what the fuck? Look at all these names in this. Look at this. Holy fucking shit. Look at this, man. Yo, what the fuck? This is everybody of everybody right here. This is every powerful motherfucker right here. Look at this. Look at the names on this, man. Mick Jagger's in there. Yo, Kevin Spacey. I knew that. Leonardo DiCaprio. Woody Allen, we knew that. Woody Allen's a fucking nutbag. Chris Tucker? No. Not Chris Tucker, bro. No. What? Yo, what the fuck? Look at these names, dude. Michael Bloomberg? Yo, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? Ted Kennedy? Oh, holy fuck, dude. Prince Andrew, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. So Hillary was like, I know you're using the island. I'm going to use it too. Like, what the fuck, bro? George W., Bill Gates, Elon Musk. And Donald Trump's at the head of it. I love it. I love the list. Yeah, let's put him first. And Michael Jackson third. These people are crazy, bro. They're fucking insane. They're fucking insane, bro. You just, dude, the way that these people are glossing over the truth now, too, is like fucking ridiculous. They're fucking up the truth. They're actually making it harder to get to the truth now. Some of these fucking people. Jeffrey Epstein files. Supposedly that's a photo of kidnapped kids on there from the Epstein files. He has his fake fucking passport. He had like 10 different ones.
Leaders are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America. That's what's happening in this country. I just said it.
What?
That's what's going on in this country. And our FBI is corrupt, the Supreme Court is corrupt, and our leaders are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America.
So Mossad setting up all the American politicians to control them. That's what you're telling me.
That's what's happening in this country.
That's what you're telling me is happening.
I just said it.
Well, I don't know if I mean, I don't know if I truly believe that, and I don't know if I don't believe that. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, like, what the fuck, dude?
That's what's going on in this country.
I mean, I just recommend nobody have kids at this point.
And our FBI is corrupt. The Supreme Court is corrupt. The Justice Department is corrupt. The news media is corrupt. The whole country is corrupt. Because we've walked away from Almighty God and we've allowed Kabbalah practicing Jews to defile the nation. Put that video out.
Jesus, I hope it's not that deep.
They eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do, Tucker. Stop staring at me like that.
You're freaking me out, man. Because you spent your life in the entertainment business, so I think you have some authority on this.
So many kids that I was in mental institutions with over the years, they are all from those cults. And they've covered it all up. They covered it all up. And, you know, I just pray to God. I'm just going to pray to God that he opens everybody's eyes in this country. By the time we go in to vote for Trump, that he will open up everybody's eyes and they will stop pretending to be asleep. You know what they say, you can't wake people up that are pretending to be asleep, but I pray to God, please wake up even those who are pretending to be asleep with the irrefutable truth of what the worst people on this planet are really up to. They are really up to that. They're doing.
Wow.
From the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply.
And the other thing, they're going to attack your businesses and your money.
Oh, so there's the My Pillow guy who I mentioned the other night of being a billionaire. He's not, so I was wrong about that, and he has lost a ton of fucking money. I heard this interview today on Alex Jones.
And they're going to just bankrupt you until you shut up. Well, you know, fortunately for me, they at least took the one of bankrupting me and
there you go.
And attacked that rather than kill me. They probably wish they would have killed me, Harrison. You know, now you're looking back on it, right? But I'm going to tell everybody. You know what they said? What they said back in May of last year when I went to my first I pushed my machine trials, my lawfare, all the way to trial. We went to trial in May in Crooked, Colorado, and we get out there, and the judge let their traitor attorney, that's what they were suing me for, is because I called them traitors, right? Traitors to the United States and traitors to, I think I said,
There's a guy named Tony, I think Tony Pepperoni or something like that, Joey Pepperoni or something like that. And this guy makes unbelievable videos tying all kinds of shit into each other about like the Epstein files. And his videos have been really fucking like good and spot on. And I want to check him out before I bang out of here tonight at some point. But Let me see. I wonder if I could find that video on here.
Got put in a lockdown for the China virus, and this guy brought me, this was a supplement that worked. And by the way, those $10 million worth of that product.
Buller has been removed from President Trump's Religious Liberty Commission. He says no member of the commission has the right to hijack a hearing for their own personal and political agenda on any issue. It's not what she did. This is clearly, without question, what happened Monday in our hearing on anti-Semitism in America. This was my decision. That's absolutely not what happened. It was a question of about religious liberty, and the greatest threat to religious liberty in America today is the Zionist lobby attempting to conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism.
$1 billion nationally. Where's this money going to?
I appreciate that question because most people don't ask that question. It goes to terrorism. It goes to child trafficking. It goes to drugs. It goes to terrorism. And then it's used to purchase luxury items, cars, purses, homes. That's all funded by people like me that pay taxes.
So you're telling me that the electrician who goes to work every day and clocks in and then works his butt off and tries to earn just enough to be able to, make his rent, maybe have a kid or two, put food on the table. His tax money is being used to buy other people luxury items, cars, yachts, whatever else, and is going to fund terrorism and child trafficking?
The Epstein chalkboard. But in the recent files, I found the wider...
Oh, here he is right here. This is the guy, man. This guy is awesome. Joey Pepperoni. Check him out on X. The guy's fucking great.
Picture that shows the full board.
So listen to this shit right here.
You remember I decoded the Epstein chalkboard, but in the recent files, I found the wider picture that shows the full board. Well, all right, class. Let's break it down. This is a ritual system for social engineering. Look at the top. Distribution. That's the bell curve. Population control. The goal is to keep most people average, dull, and easy to manipulate by controlling exactly what they see. Now look at the machine code. This is Kabbalah stuff, disguised as math. M objects are mathematical objects. To them, your data. Miracles are engineered awe. The matrix is the cage, and the university board is the gatekeeper. Then you see beauty. That's Tiferet from the Tree of Life, weaponized to gold-tune your identity. Now look all the way to the right. See this money sign, DT? This is the flow of capital. The money sign proves that this is a funded operation. In elite systems, DARPA tech, and psychological warfare, DT stands for Digital Twin. It's a data-driven replica of you, a shadow self in AI form used to simulate your behavior. They predict your outcomes and run psychological simulations before they ever deploy them in the real world. They're not just watching you, they're testing your digital twin to see how to break you. And look at the code block, SB00. That's the protocol. The S with the T underneath, that's signal tuning. They're tuning the signal of your behavior at the base layer, ground zero, using the digital twin as the blueprint. It all leads to the lab high school, recruitment points, probably gate programs, psyops, and handlers. They find you early, mark you as gifted, and tune your identity into the digital twin before you ever hit the university board. This explains how they run the distribution. Rumors link Ghislaine to Maxwell Hill, the Reddit powerhouse who controlled the flow of world news. She was the operator. The account went dark on June 30th, 2020, exactly 2 days before she was arrested. She was managing the frequency for the machine. Why do they do this? Why the rituals? Because the people running this board believe they are the Nephilim bloodline. To them, humanity is just a resource to be farmed. It's not just a science project, it's a genetic destiny. They're using this formula to install the hybrid god and reclaim the throne through transhumanism. It's a map for elite tech overlords to mold identity, hijack perception, and control consciousness. It's Kabbalah turned into a weapon to install the hybrid god. Well, it started with...
Damn, man. This guy goes fucking deep, huh? He had another video that was pretty good about the Epstein files where he tied a bunch of shit in.
Yesterday. It has been about a year since Donald Trump became president again. Are you better off than you were a year ago? And only 38% say yes. And that's the exact same number that said yes at the end of the Biden administration. So that number has not gone up. Now,
individual minister be allowed to bypass 150
I saw
years.
that's boring, that shit.
3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, or sorry, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. Co-conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm gonna unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now your assistant your deputy
physically ripping off the
Attorney
black
General
bars that block him.
said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking.
Oh, man. This fucking goes fucking deep.
Thousand right now. The S&P at almost 7,000.
So this was kind of weird. They asked Pam Bondi a question about, the Epstein files, and she jumped on to talk about the Dow Jones and how everything's starting to go good in the economy and all this shit. And people were like, why would she answer it that way? She answered something totally different than what was asked of her. But if you really think about it, she didn't. She is basically saying, like, hey, if we were to take down everybody in the Epstein files, the entire economy and everything would go down with it, because all these people are so powerful. If we do fucking take them out, they're going to fucking rip the economy and everything else down with them, is what a person was saying. But that was her response to a question like that. And it was very weird.
The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
Yo, you guys see who's behind her right there? Look who that is right there, man. Right? The person in the middle. That's fucking Mankind. That's fucking Mick Foley, bro. Fuck is Mick Foley doing there, dude? Mick fucking Foley, bro.
The Dow is
Look
over
at him.
50,000
Mick
right
Foley.
now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming.
That's why people were laughing in the
what we
beginning
should be
there.
talking.
That's why people were laughing in the beginning there, because she was asked something specifically about the Epstein files.
The
And
Dow is over
see how they're all laughing?
50,000 right now.
You see how Mankind's laughing?
Now, the S&P at almost 7,000. And
the committee will be...
Did anything? That's what they just asked. 1,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan. Committee will be in order. Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my...
Look at Nadler, this fucking fat fucking waste of a human bag of shit.
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas, Miss...
She kind of pulled a Age Skrillex there. Are you kidding?
Are you kidding me? Twice. They sure did. They tried to impeach him twice. And you, Mr. Nadler, were one of the leads on the impeachment. I was on the other side. I lived that with you. During impeachment, you said the president conspired, sought foreign interference in the 2016 election. Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? You all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents.
Yet Donald Trump's hiding something.
And Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history.
But he's hiding something. But he's hiding something, right? The last 3 administrations have had that, but he's hiding something.
To holding criminals accountable to the fullest extent of the law. In 2025, the FBI arrested over 1,700 child predators, a 10% increase from 2024. We also located 2,700 victims of child exploitation and shut down 3.8 million dark web pedophile accounts. 3.8 million. So please, if you have information to share that needs to be investigated, contact the FBI.
Okay, not bad. Not a bad start. And of course, she's right. And even Axios and other
Is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7.
Caroline Leavitt yesterday when she's asked about the Epstein files. Let's watch.
And that remains true. And this call, if it did happen, corroborates exactly what President Trump has said from the beginning. And I'm sure many of you, when you read that alleged FBI report, probably thought to yourself, wow, this really cracks our narrative that we've been trying to push about this president for many years. So.
Knife? What knife? Are you suggesting this is a knife I have in my hand? Have you gone mad, my sane husband?
Up like a rigged timing. Fascinating how the timing always lines up like a rigged game of dominoes. Just as the Epstein files start spilling out their filthy secrets, names, dates, and depraved dealings that could topple empires.
There are code words that suggest Jeffrey Epstein and his associates could maybe even be engaging in some sort of consumption. Is that human consumption?
The media machine cranks into overdrive with blatant distractions and a minimization press.
That bomb squad vehicle just pulled back in, but the 2 SWAT vehicles and the mobile command center are still out there somewhere. We were made aware of a location that they might be traveling to.
Election fraud gets criminally exposed in broad daylight with whistleblowers and evidence piling.
So yeah, I did think that Super Bowl show, the I didn't say it before, the halftime show for the Great American Halftime Show. Well, I don't like country music, first of all, and we watched that, me and Shannon, and I kept looking at her like, this sucks. And she was like, oh, it's not bad. You just don't like country. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know any of these people besides, Kid Rock. And the song Kid Rock did was very nice. I liked it. I just think that it was, they announced yesterday that they're doing it again next year. That company, the Charlie Kirk thing, they're doing it again next year because they had such a good amount of people watching them online and shit. And it was a successful broadcast. So they're doing it again. And hey, you know what? Give people an alternative. That's fine. And maybe it'll be even better next year because I'll have more time to plan it out and everything. But it really wasn't any rival to the other Super Bowl show. And the other one like I said, sucked too. It really wasn't anything special. I'm sure the kids in America loved it, and like, you know, people that like that music and can understand what he's saying loved it. But I think a lot of Americans, whether you're white, black, Puerto Rican, or whatever, and you speak American, I don't think you liked it much. You know, so, but I see a lot of people that did like it. So I don't know which one won, but I think they both were not good, to be honest. I didn't like the other one either, to be honest. It wasn't really that good, you know. So I'm not raving about that shit, and it could have been better. Maybe next year it will be. Who knows? Wait, I'm trying to find this other video that was on here.
Hey, so driving home just a few minutes ago, I shot a quick report. It's below. And I said, Howard Lutnick said he basically met Epstein once with his wife. They moved in next door. They went over there. He said, hey, there's a massage table. We'll give you the best type of massage. It was super creepy. They basically ran away. And then it came out that a few years later, he and his wife and their kids went on a boat there and stayed there. That's lying. Okay? And then the commenters are like, you don't support Trump. The Democrats are the enemy. They're the ones that are, 99% going to this. And so you're doing their work for them. You need to protect Trump. Just because they're the ones involved in it 99% doesn't mean now that Trump can cover it up. That's immoral. That's injustifies the means. And you're not even watching the video. I know that. You're too lazy. The headline is, Howard Lutnick must resign or be fired. And then I explain all that in the video. Of course the Democrats are being political. Of course Raskin and all of them are being deceptive. It's all the Clintons, the global initiative funded by Ghislaine Maxwell and the UN and all the big leftist leaders in Europe.
What the
and
fuck?
The Keir Starmer administration, his people involved with the kids, all the stuff. Yes, they're the guilty ones. And Trump, because a few of his people are involved at certain levels, the financial stuff, we don't find any sex stuff, he's like, well, let's just move on. It'll hurt the economy. I disagree with that. And I think that's a very moral position to be in. And I wasn't sure about all this new stuff came out, and I'm sure now. So here's the deal. We built the movement Trump came in on. Overall, I like a lot of stuff he's doing. That doesn't matter. Trump could do 99% good, but if we, caught him, I don't know, roasting babies and eating them like Epstein's doing at the island confirmed, I think all you'd say, well, damn, we can't support him. Be like if you had a neighbor who's a really nice guy you knew for a year, played poker with him, went on trips with him, and you find out the guy's got dead kids buried in his basement like John Wayne Gacy.
What the fuck?
I don't have to defend myself to
Oh, dear God.
The average right-winger is much more moral than the average leftist, but a lot of you are in a cult too.
He's right, but like nobody's defending anybody, man.
Okay? That's fucked up. It's fucked up.
All right, but nobody is saying that Trump burnt and ate babies with anybody, dude. It's not said in the Epstein files. It's not said anywhere.
And the fact that the DOJ won't go after the Democrats and these names that keep coming out that have been redacted is almost all them. Do you care about that? Trump is protecting the fucking Democrats while they turn around and stab in the back. It's the stupidest fucking shit I've ever seen. It's Trump that originally dropped the dime on Epstein, and that's come out in the documents. I first reported that 10 years ago. Before I endorsed Trump, I checked into all this. Trump doesn't do stuff like that. People can control him. He doesn't have Russian hookers piss on him. That turned out to be fake too. I know all this shit. And I got told by high-level people when Trump was getting back in, they said the CIA, he was CIA and Mossad, MI6, they're going to kill him. National security. But Tulsi Gabbard's done her job, and Ratcliffe's been covering up. And that's why this is going on, because the money laundering and the airline he ran, and all that goes back to George Herbert Walker Bush and Bill Barr and those neocon Republicans. Those are the other Republicans that are involved. They're involved in the start of this guy. But it's mainly a Democrat franchise. And that's the facts. I reported it all over 15 years ago, and now Mike Benz has dug out new documents and just double proved everything I fucking said. Sorry for the French here, but I'm just sick of this shit. I was exposing this when most of you were in your fucking diapers. And so all you people out there like Cat Turd and I was using him as an analogy. I'm not trying to be mean to him. This is good work. And the other thing, D-Lee meme or whatever, tells me shut the fuck up. No, you shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want you to shut up. I love your bullshit. You watch. This is going to bring the country down. It's your fucking fault, not mine. I built the fucking runway for Trump.
What the fuck?
I've trained fucking Jedis for 800 years. My own counsel I will keep on who's to be trained. You guys are Johnny Come-Latelys in your lightweights. So I'm glad to say I don't stand with pedophile protection. Fuck you.
Bloody fuck you, bloody!
You know, Alex is all fucked up over this because a lot of people are, so like a lot of his fans are saying, why are you sticking up for Trump? And a lot of them are saying, why aren't you sticking up for Trump? And then it's like, it's really getting fraction off the right. The far right is really starting to fraction because of a lot of that shit. But you just got to trust in President Trump and trust in President Trump that he'll do good for us and he'll take care of our country, and trust in President Trump because President Trump can do what he did. President Trump. Hydroxychloroquine on sale right now, folks. Hydroxychloroquine on sale right now, guys. I'm taking hydroxychloroquine and I'm getting high with the hookah. I smoke plenty of hookahs with Mr. President, and Trump is trying to little RFK intimidating, you know. I feel bad that his voice is like that, but I love to talk like it. Dies in your food, and when
what the fuck?
Alright, anyway, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta be inside in a warm bed by 11, alright? Oh, look at this. The movie I was talking about right there.
It's only hitting the West because China, this is universal. This is the same program everywhere. And notice that it's only hitting the West because China and the globalists have set up and funded and supported this network. And then within that, it's only targeting Trump, who's on the periphery, but was told this will bring down America, sir. You've got to cover it up. People can't handle eating children. And all these politicians and world leaders, almost all Democrats, still it'll kill the faith and credit of the U.S. Plus, it's all old news. Plus, they're spiking up stuff about you. I told you this years ago. I have this from people that got it from Trump, okay? Let's just stop there. I'm just going to stop there, okay? And I said back then, and I said now, I said, they are going to double cross. You think you're covering up to protect the country because it'll bring everything down. Covering it up will bring it down. Now, what's got to be done now is admit all this. It is the Clinton Foundation run by the Epstein. That's all the documents. It's about 99%. I can't really find Republicans other than Ludnick. It's who I said, I bet it's going to be Ludnick just because of the pieces that were there. And I'm not saying he actually did anything, but he'd be the main target. Now, he's the first main target. Lives next door, said he only just met him once, but now we learned what's the island. Yeah, Ludnick's done.
Going after fucking Trump's guys, man. I mean, listen, if Ludnick or anybody else connected to Trump is guilty of anything, then they need to hang. They need to fucking go to jail. They need to be arrested. They need to be prosecuted. I don't give a fuck who it is. You touch kids or you did something like that, you need to go to jail. You need to die. You know what I mean? Like, you need to basically die if you had anything to do with this on a real level. Like, it's...
neighborhood also bullying me nonstop. Like big old demons. And now even worse, the Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh my God, this guy, Alex, oh my God, bro. Alex Steen is just out of his fucking mind, this guy, bro. He is out of his fucking mind, bro. Wait till you see what this guy is doing now. Wait till you see what this fucking guy is doing, bro. Look at this.
In my neighborhood, also bullying me nonstop. They come into my house, knocking on my door, shouting at me, "Oh, stop drinking cow pee! Stop eating cow poop!" They saying my cow Lakshmi is haram.
Oh my God, bro. Alex Steen is fucked up, bro. He really goes in front of people like that and does that shit. He really does that shit. He is fucking out of his mind, bro. That guy is great. That guy's fucking funny, bro. He's out of his fucking mind. What is he saying here?
Trump's chief financial economy advisor is Howard Ludnick.
Oh, he's really on Ludnick. Holy shit. He's calling for Ludnick. Jesus Christ.
Who seek power and have the tools and means to obtain it are disproportionate to people you don't want to have it. It's why our Constitution was meant to have all these checks and balances and the Second Amendment was about stripping the government of the power of centralized violence by making the only power and tool of violence be in the hands of ordinary
Yeah,
everyday
the
people.
left says power of the people. There ain't nothing like the Second Amendment or the First Amendment for power of the people. That
and Todd Blanche. Then what's going to happen is a sequence of impeachments. Now, it'll start with Kristi Noem because of her corrupt dealings with Corey Lewandowski. But then it will go to Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche. From there, they're going to try to take out...
There's a thing in the Epstein files about this guy right here. There's a thing about the Epstein files, like with this guy in it, Roger Stone. And the person that's in it says that they saw Roger Stone, a person with a tattoo of an ex-president on their back. Okay? I mean, how many people have that on their back? But they saw him face fucking a boy. And that Roger Stone turned around at them and said, "Can I get some fucking privacy, please?" And that the person ran back in their room. This is online. This is on YouTube if you look it up. They said that I haven't seen it yet in the Epstein files, but they said that is in the Epstein files about Roger Stone. But when Roger Stone was on Alex Jones the other day, they were both laughing about how, yeah, we're both in the Epstein files, but for good things. They're talking about how they hate me and Roger Stone in there, how they want to arrest us and they want to throw us away because we were on track of what they were doing. And I'm like, wait a second. Somebody reported that Roger Stone was in there for doing some crazy shit. Do they not know that, or are they just not talking about that? So that's a little weird. If you look it up, Roger Stone is in there, which is, I could see that happening.
It's a microcosm of everything Trump does. Because I do know the beef business. And
I mean, the guy's got a fucking tattoo of, an ex-president on his back. Like, who the fuck?
Himself likes his steaks well done. To me, that just seems...
They said he was face fucking somebody.
Guy, aren't you rare?
I'm rare. I'm a right winger. I like raw meat.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, guys, right? How far are we from the truth, really? You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, I'll be back soon, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for blowing and for showing some love tonight. And if you watched this, hit that like button. If you were with me live, thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I'll see you guys this weekend or even sooner. And we'll talk. All right? We'll all talk soon. Have a good rest of your week, everybody. Stay cool. Stay healthy. Stay whole.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. What the fuck, right? The fuck do I know? Anyway. God. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Good night, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, like I said, and hump day's over. Peace, everybody. Thank you, blowing in. Shout out to the chat.
You've been locked into Get On 10. Epstein, it's Epstein, not Epstein, du der Epstein, mein Epstein, uns an den Schein, uns Flaggen Scheinser, uns ein Scheißer. Uns ein motherfucking Scheißer. Uns ein Scheißer, Mann, uns ein gleichen Scheißer. Uns ein Scheißer. Epstein Scheißer. Epstein Scheißer, Reiser, den Epstein Scheißer, Onsen Scheißer, den Epstein Schlein, Epstein Scheißer, that kill himself, Scheißer, Scheißer, Onsen Lager, der Scheiße, oh my God, Epstein sich Scheißer, den Boden klagen, Onsen Scheißer, mein Gott, Onsen Scheißer. Onsen Scheiße. Epstein, Epstein Scheiße. Onsen Epstein Scheiße. Onsen Scheiße. Epstein schon Scheiße. Scheiße. Epstein Scheiß. Epstein Scheiße. Epstein Scheiße. Good night, everybody. I love you. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeah.
Epstein, fuck niggas. Epstein, fuck niggas. Epstein, fuck niggas.